summer vacation, an eternity.
You're lying in the grass, looking at the sky and thinking, this will never end. Every day feels like 3, every week like a month. Then you're 40, New Year's. You tell yourself, this year will be different. What feels like 2 weeks later, it's already February. One blink and the calendar shows July. And one more moment later, you're already unpacking Christmas presents with the family again. Wait, what? How the hell did that happen? Where did the year go? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at why time was endless as a child and suddenly races away the older you get, what your brain does in the process, and whether you even have a chance to reverse it. First, the sobering truth. Yes, time really does feel like it passes faster the older you get. This isn't imagination. Researchers have actually studied this. They surveyed people between 14 and 94 years old. How quickly have the last 10 years passed? The answers? Teenagers, slowly. Young adults, already faster. Older people, way too fast. The older, the faster. Measurable, proven, depressing. But why? Here's where it gets interesting. We have no organ for time. For light, we have eyes. For sound, ears. For smell, the nose. But time? Nothing. No built-in clock. And yet you feel seconds, minutes, years passing. How does your body do that? Your brain cobbles together a sense of time from everything it can get. Changes. Light gets darker, temperature drops, sounds change. But also from your body itself. That's called interoception, the perception from within. Your heartbeat, your breathing, small internal signals. And here's where it gets exciting. Studies show that people who can feel their own heartbeat more accurately also estimate time better. Without measuring their pulse, just by listening inward. Those who feel their heartbeat have a better sense of time. Your heart is like an internal metronome. Tick, tick, tick. And your brain uses that. This was even tested in extreme experiments. In isolation tanks, those enclosed tubs with salt water. You lie in them, weightless, no light, no sounds, all external stimuli completely gone. And yet you have a sense of time. Why? Because your body keeps in your brain registers that. The researchers found a brain region that was especially active, the insula. It's normally responsible for internal perception. That's where your timekeeper might be. But what is this timekeeper anyway? There's a model for it. Imagine there's a pulse generator in your body, like a metronome. It constantly sends signals, tick, tick, tick. And a receiver counts these pulses. The more pulses arrive in a certain time, the longer time feels. Example, normally the generator sends 50 pulses per minute. Your brain learns, okay, 50 pulses equals 1 minute. But if the generator suddenly ticks faster, say 100 pulses, then your brain thinks, whoa, that was 2 minutes. Even though objectively only 1 is passed, your sense of time accelerates without you noticing. And this timekeeper? It can be influenced by everything. By attention, for example. When you're waiting for something, at the dentist, at the bus stop, you're focused on time. You pay attention to it. And then your brain registers every single pulse. Tick, tick, tick. You're basically counting along. Every second is perceived. The result? Time crawls. 5 minutes feel like 20. But when you're distracted, busy, happy, absorbed in something, then your brain races by because you weren't counting. Later you think, wait, already over? And emotions play in too. Fear and shock stretch time extremely. Your brain switches to survival mode. It becomes hypervigilant, registers every millisecond. 3 seconds of free fall feels like minutes. Your timekeeper goes haywire. Your brain gets hundreds of pulses at once and thinks, this is taking forever. Okay, but now to the big question. Why does time pass faster the older you get? The first answer is math, and pretty unfair math at that. When you're 10 years old, 1 year is 10% of your entire life. That's huge, a whole tenth of your existence. No wonder it feels endless. But when you're 40, 1 year is only 2.5% of your life. At 80, 1.25%. The older you get, the smaller each year becomes in relation to everything you've already experienced. Your brain measures relatively, not absolutely. Your brain says, 1 year? I've already lived through 40 of those. Nothing special. Boom, gone. But there's a second explanation, and it's more psychological. The theory of firsts. As a child, everything was new. The first pizza of your life, the first ice cream, the first time at the amusement park. Everything unforgettable. The thousandth pizza, nothing special anymore? Was that yesterday or last week? Your brain stores new experiences in more detail, like a photo album that fills up daily. And when you look back later, you see hundreds of pictures. First day of school, first bike ride, first vacation by the sea. Every memory a moment. Time feels long because so much happened. But as an adult, routine. Same thing every day. Wake up, coffee, work, dinner, TV, sleep, repeat. Your brain doesn't store that anymore. It says, I know this already, uninteresting. The days blur together. Weeks stay the same. Months are identical. And when you look back, there are almost no pictures left. Maybe a vacation, maybe a birthday, but the rest? Empty. Your brain hasn't stored anything because nothing new happened. And without memories, time feels short. Your brain thinks, already a year gone? But nothing happened. And now comes a wild paradox. Eventful times feel short in the moment, but long in memory. A year full of adventures, new people, new places. While you're living it, time races. You're happy, busy, distracted. Your brain barely registers time pulses. But a year later you look back and it feels like forever, because hundreds of memories are stored. This also explains vacations. While you're there, the week flies by. Later you think, was that really only 7 days? Because your brain stored every new experience. New city, new food, new language. Everything new, everything worth storing. Okay, but can you do something about it? Of course! If you want time to feel longer again, you need new experiences. Travel, hobbies, new people. Break your routine. Take a different route to work. Try a restaurant you've never been to. Learn a language. Every first time makes time stand still for a moment because your brain says, this is important. I'm storing this. And then there's mindfulness. Being in the moment, consciously perceiving. When you take a walk and really notice what's around you, every tree, every sound, every smell, your brain stores that. The walk feels longer. Not objectively, but for you. And in the end, that's the only thing that matters. Here's a fun fact. Did you know that some researchers believe dogs can smell time? Yes, really! The theory behind it is that as soon as the owner leaves the house, their scent in the room slowly dissipates. Dogs are masters at recognizing patterns. When the scent has reached a certain degree of change, the dog knows. Okay, my human is coming back soon. Researchers actually tested this with a dog that every day, punctual as an alarm clock, jumped off the couch and waited at the door for his owner. The researchers then one day refreshed the owner's scent in the room with a worn t-shirt. And what happened? The dog stayed relaxed lying down. He thought, nah, still too early. The scent is still too strong. And when the owner opened the door, the dog came running over confused. He was literally led by the nose. Smelling time. Crazy, right? So next time you think, December already? Remember, time isn't your enemy. Maybe you've just fallen into habits without realizing it that accelerate it. So, do something new more often? Today is a perfect day to change something. Because you still have time. So stay curious, and if you have more questions, write them in the comments. We'll take care of it here on the channel. Maybe you've also wondered why iron rusts red but copper green, or why you sometimes cry even though you're actually happy? You'll find the answers in these videos. Enjoy!